it's a real pleasure to be part of the Versopolis project. I'm just going to read 2 poems. Both of them, I write a lot about Sheffield and Derbyshire, where I was brought up and where I live now. So I thought I'd deliberately read 2 poems that didn't begin with things on my doorstep, that started from elsewhere. The first one is sort of set in Belgium. And it's just called Vanishing Point. I'm obsessed with writing about trees, and they seem to keep creeping back into my work, even when I don't mean them to. So this is called Vanishing Point. Avenues of trees, avenues of hairless silver trees that never touch, avenues that bring the evening to its knees, stooping to enter their tunnel, trees that wear the new rain like a transparent glove, or hold their branches shakily in front of them like hands spotted with someone else's blood. Avenues of trees that lean, still drunk at dawn, dreaming new names for themselves. Parades of trees, armies of pale trees. No, avenues of trees under avenues of night air. Planned, tended avenues curling down the hill to Sablon like loosed hair. Like a word on your tongue, allez, venir. The accent wrong, a language you can almost hear when I breathe against your cheek, breathe in your ear, and shut my eyes. Go down with you through avenues of painted trees, trees oiled in shadow, framed and held, imaginary trees that wait as if you could enter them. Avenues of trees, avenues of poplar, lime, the long-lined year, the avenue I watch you walking down and follow you and can't get near. And the second poem is set in Glasgow, but actually it has got a bit of, despite my intentions, it has got a bit of Sheffield in it, because it mentions something very Sheffield that I took with me there. Glasgow. The rain I brought north with me, a Yorkshire vale, the sky like something almost overheard, or like the petrified grey bird inside the Kelvingrove Museum, its neat impression of an owl. The stuffed beige dog that looked as if it might still howl, a rooted sentry on a tall glass case. The cheetah with its elevated face and one raised paw. The way we tried to move as if we'd not been here before. The science test we stopped to take to see if we were sensitive to bitterness. A white strip held for seconds on the tongue. A strangeness they said wouldn't last for good. Or how you couldn't taste it and I could. Thank you.
I sometimes consider myself a citizen of 2 countries. One is Italy and the other is woods. Autoritratto di paesaggio congelso. Ho incominciato a respirare nel troncocavo di un gelso. Ho varcato la soglia dell'età adulta per tornare a scardinare il paesaggio con occhi di bambino, il fuoco vibrante di un rugoso monaco zen.
Self-portrait of landscape with mulberry. I began to breathe in the hollow trunk of a mulberry. I crossed the threshold of adulthood to once again plumb the landscape with the eyes of a child, the vibrant fire of a wizened Zen monk.
Nido per animi leggeri. Quanto sai essere leggera, quando il vento passa fra i tuoi capelli di creta, fai pulizia fra le foglie e i ramoscelli, l'ordine ha valore di rinascita, mi ripeti, le uova non sono ancora state deposte, ma le aspetti a giorni, non appena i ciligi saranno in fiore. Le rondini non sono rincasate, le opportuniste, allunghiamo lo sguardo a mezzogiorno, e socchiudi le palpebre e annusi l'aria, con la punta del naso ci tocchiamo e sorridiamo. Siamo noi i prossimi animali che avranno le ali, prometti. Non è che le parole si regalino senza nulla in cambio. Ogni minimo pensiero ha un costo in ore sonno. Coltivare la visione pretende acqua fresca di sorgente. Le radici scavano e scavano nel mare secco della terra, di fronte alle mura di Troia.
A nest for blithe souls. You can be so light when the wind wafts through your hair of clay. You tidy up among the leaves and twigs. Neatness has the value of rebirth, you repeat to me. The eggs haven't been laid yet, but you expect them any day now, as soon as the cherry trees blossom. The swallows haven't returned home yet, those opportunists. We turn our gaze to the south. You half close your eyelids and sniff the air. The tips of our noses touch and we smile. We're the next animals to have wings, you promise. Words can't be given without getting something in return. Even the smallest thought has a price in sleep hours. It takes fresh water, spring water, to cultivate vision. The roots dig and dig in the dry sea of the earth, in front of the walls of Troy.
The last one. Il tempo del legno. Ho atteso il tempo del legno per chiedere permesso a Dio, colui o colei che non ha nome e non ha forma. Qui dove ha saputo tollerare le mani di un vecchio che hanno rimosso la storia delle stagioni. Sono precipitato dentro la conta del tempo. Ho seduto e ho tastato, ho ammirato il bambino che non sono stato. Chi sei? Ho chiesto. Sono il sole che nessuno vede, ha risposto. Ho socchiuso gli occhi e pregato me stesso di non pensare più a niente, di centrare il mare del vuoto. Non ho vestito l'anima di pace, che non è spuntata. Ho solo percepito il terrore della materia, annidata cerchio su cerchio, un anno dopo l'altro. Quanto siamo deboli, ha detto. Ed io che ti credevo pronto alla roccia, no, caro uomo, nemmeno la roccia sogna serena.
The time of wood. I awaited the time of wood to ask permission here of God. He or she who has no name and no form, who tolerates the hands of an old man which eliminated the story of the seasons. I fell into the forests counting rhyme. I sat and I touched, I admired, the child I had not been. Who are you? I asked. I am the sun which nobody sees, it replied. I half closed my eyes. I entreated myself to never think of nothing again, to center the sea of nothingness. I didn't dress my soul in peace, which didn't appear. I only sensed the terror of the matter, nestled ring upon ring 1 year after another. How weak we are, it said. And here I thought you were prepared for stone. No, dear man, not even stone dreams serenely.
Се е продупчено. Тука се е продупчено. Небото што го дзиркаме низ леките на телескопите и папките на нашите канцелариски бироа. Прозорчињата на кабините во бродовите кога патуваме и масивните дзидови во храмовите во кои се молиме. И кебињата на тајните љубовници изгорени од цигара се продупчени. И светот кој го гледаме низ прстените на предците. Сеќавањата како тесто за колачиња кога ги обликуваме Метите во човечки облици на кои вежбаме пукање. Се е продупчено. Окцата на вратите затворени за питачите, земјата од растурените домови на мравките, Бог што го бараме низ кружните отвори на куполите.
Everything is pierced. Everything here is pierced. The sky we spy through the lenses of the telescopes and the folders on our office desks, the little windows in the ship cabins when we travel, and the massive walls in the temples in which we pray, and the blankets of the secret lovers burnt from cigarettes are pierced, and the world we see through the rings of the ancestors, the memories like cookie dough when we shape the targets in human forms on which we practice shooting. Everything is pierced. The spy holes on the doors closed for beggars, the earth from the ants' destroyed homes, God, whom we search through the circular openings of the domes.
Се смалуваме. Стапнуваме во нештата и веќе сме дел од нив. Ни кажале ли никогаш дека школките се ноктите на морето? Дека и нашите ногти стануваат школки штом влеземе во него? Дека стомакот ни е морска жилка кога пливаме? Дека градите ни се медузи? Очите ни се мали рибки издвоени од јатото во плиткото? Косите ни се претвораат во алги штом ги потопиме? Кожата ни е мофта, влакненцата ни се тревите на камењата, кои се нишаат од водата како од ветер. Ушите ни се морски кончиња, прстите пипки од октоподи, што ги нудат како специјалитет во скапите менија. Се смалуваме како морски звезди што се сушат на пристаништата, кои ќе висат некаде како украс над зидот, како запрена светлина, подпишан сувенир.
We dwindle. We step into things and already we are part of them. Has anyone told us that the seashells are the fingernails of the sea, that our fingernails become seashells once we enter in it, that our stomach is a sea turtle when we swim, that our breasts are jellyfish, our eyes are little fish separated from the shoal in the shallows, our hair turns to algae when we submerge it, our skin is moss, our hairs are the weeds on the rocks swaying in the water as if wind-blown, our ears are little seahorses, our fingers the tentacles of the octopuses being offered as a speciality in expensive menus. We dwindle like sea stars drying on docks, which will be hung on a wall somewhere as decorations, like stopped light, a signed souvenir.
Благословена е она што не можеме да го допреме. Благословени се далечините и местата на кои никогаш нема да отидеме, и тесната мазна ношница што се суши на балконот спроти нас. Благословена е смртта, која ги памти адресите на сите наши неиспратени писма, и боговите кои се напрегаме, но не можеме да ги дофатиме, како беа жените во аголот меѓу креветот и зидот. Благословена е месечината, сервирана на небото, како чинја на некој кој постојано вечера сам, и сонцето, што не подсетува дека може да се љуби и оддалеку. Благословена е слободата и нашата илузија дека сме ја допреле, како што го допираме животот преку екраните и мониторите. Благословено е минатото, што ни се лепи како долготраен кармин на устата, и иднината, извалкана од црвени дамки, отпорни и на најрекламираните детергенти. Благословени се морињата, што никогаш нема да ги препливаме, заради граничниците за вода и теориите за безбедност. Благословена е меката коса на една девојка што за малку, сосема за малку ќе ме допреше во една автобуска гужва.
Blessed is that which we cannot touch. Blessed are the distances and the places to which we will never go, and the tight, smooth nightgown drying on the balcony across from us. Blessed is death that remembers the addresses of all our unsent letters, and the gods we try but cannot reach, like the cobwebs in the corner between the bed and the wall. Blessed is the moon served on the sky like a dish of someone who dines alone all the time, and the sun reminding us one can love from afar. Blessed is the freedom and our illusion that we have touched it, like we touch life through screens and displays. Blessed is the past that sticks to us like long-lasting lipstick on our mouths, and the future besmeared by red stains, resistant to even the most advertised of detergents. Blessed are the seas which we will never swim across because of the water landmarks and the theories of safety. Blessed is the soft hair of a girl that nearly, very nearly touched me.
Запирки. Пронеда фотографија во подрумот од местото на мојата куќа пред да биде изградена, кога била само скица во рацете на архитектите. И знам приближно од кога ја има. Годината кога е изградена е замачкана во бетонот во еден агол на дворот. Но не знам колку време претходно ја немало. И пред да постојат џбуновите, тревите и небото што избледуваа на фотографијата. Дали непостоењето е подолго од постоењето и колку е старо ништото. Од прашината што се крена од фотографијата, како запирки во воздухот, се закашлав.
Commas. I found a photograph in the basement of the place of my house before it was built, when it was only a sketch in the hands of the architects. And I know approximately since when it exists. The year of construction is engraved in the concrete in a corner of the yard. But I do not know how long before it did not exist, and before the bushes, weeds, and the sky existed that fade in the photograph. Is the non-existence longer than the existence? And how old is the nothing from the dust that rose of the photograph like commas in the air I coughed?
And the last one, за пасвордот по джибра. Полнете си еден на друг чашата, но не пиете од иста чаша. Давајте си еден на друг хлеб, но не јадете од истата погача. Пеете и играјте заедно и бидете радосни, но нека секој од вас биде и сам. Како што жиците на лирата стојат одвоено, а сепак треперат со истата музика. Калил Джибра. Во една статија на интернет прочитав дека многу љубовни парови си ги знаат пасвордите на мејловите, дека си ги разменуваат меѓусебно како знак на доверба и сигурност. Да бев мудрец како Джибран, а не сум, ке додадев. И праќајте се еден на друг мејлови, но не делејте го пасвордот, зашто и човекот и земјата се хранат едно од друго, а ја чуваат тајната за почетоците, секој својата.
On Passwords by Gibran. And this poem has a little epigraph from Khalil Gibran. It says, "Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another of your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous, but let each of you be alone, even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music." On Passwords by Gibran. In one article on the internet, I read that many couples know each other's email passwords and that they give them to each other as a token of trust and security. Had I been wise as Gibran, and I'm not, I would have added, "Send emails to each other, but do not give away your passwords, for the man and the earth feed off each other, and yet they keep the secret of their beginnings, each to their own."
Thank you.
Hanté par le masque blanc du mime aux lèvres figées, rayonnant sous les huées comme sous les applaudissements, j'ai nourri mon savoir avec la virgule édentée des diables en boîte. la grimace lunaire d'un chat qui sait disparaître, l'affreux gribouillage qui sert de face aux monstres rieurs sauvés des cages de foire par un naufrage. J'ai questionné la sentence d'écran d'arrêt sur la joue des anges et les fines mécaniques qui maintiennent les mâchoires d'accidentés dans un embrouillamini d'élastique. Vous pouvez suivre le fil des vaudevilles, des farces narcotiques et des fantaisies criminelles grâce auxquelles j'ai dessiné mon visage, mais vous ne saurez pas pourquoi. Des plus lointains déserts de la mélancolie jusqu'au plus haut palais d'Europe, je garde l'étrange manie, le méprisable travers de cette gaupe aux larmes de sperme, mascotte de l'Apollonide, qui glissait comme un joker pour fausser la donne, une rose carnivore, l'atout maudit de la folle qui n'a jamais cessé de sourire. Haunted by the white mask of the mime artists with fixed lips, radiant at booze as well as cheers. I have fed my knowledge with the toothless coma of a jack-in-box, the crescent moon grimace of a disappearing Cheshire cat, the awful scroll which serves as a face to the grinning monster rescued from a circus cage by a shipwreck. I have questioned the sentence of flick knives on angels' cheeks and the delicate mechanisms that hold the jaws of accident victims in a tangle of elastic bands. You can follow the thread of vaudevilles, of narcotic farces and criminal fantasies, thanks to which I have designed my face. But you will never know why, from the furthest deserts of melancholia to the highest palaces in Europe, I retain the strange mania, the contemptible quirk of that tart with tears of sperm, the mascot of the Apollonide brothel that slipped like a joker, distorting the deal, a carnivorous rose, the blessed trump of the mad woman who's never stopped smiling. La dernière caresse de l'hiver. Partout la suée bleue d'une ville apeurée, des mains volatiles, des dents qui brillent. Dans chaque œil, on voit cavaler le meurtre et dans les vitrines, les mannequins transpirent. Je n'ai personne à venger, personne à maudire. Mes veilles se poursuivent que n'obsède le châtiment d'aucun crime. En mon esprit s'abritent les seuls ennemis que je possède. J'apprends seulement à déployer les ailes de la tristesse. Je dilapide la tendresse dont la solitude me sèvre en risquant une ultime caresse avant la chute. Je me change en minable ritournelle, en petite mélodie malade qui parcourt l'hiver impérial et finit dans le creux racorni d'une oreille, en fragile flocon de lumière, pour que neige dans le fond d'un rêve la promesse d'une passion nouvelle, d'un autre horizon. Là où va l'ombre lasse, dans l'attente du vent qui l'étreindra, comme une amante de passage et la consumera dans ses bras. Où s'achèvent les voix lointaines, comme des sirènes de la désolation, qui se brisent en rage, sans même un nom pour articuler le cri sur leur bouche de carton-pâte, n'en finissant de mourir. This one's called Winter's Last Caress. Everywhere the blue sweat of a frightened town, volatile hands, shining teeth. In every eye, murder can be seen writing, and in window displays, the dummies perspire. I have no one to avenge, no one to curse. My vigils succeed one another, obsessed by the punishment of no crime. in my mind, shelter the only enemies I have. I simply learned to extend the wings of sadness. I squander the tenderness from which loneliness wins me, as I risk a last caress before they fall. I transform myself into a pathetic ritornello, a sick little melody which crosses the imperial winter and ends in the horny hollow of an ear, in fragile flakes of light, so that in the depths of a dream should fall as snow the promise of a new passion, a new horizon. Where goes the weary shadow waiting for the wind which will embrace it like a fleeting lover and will consume it in her arms? Where distant voices fall silent like sirens of desolation, who are shattered with rage without even a name for voicing the shouts, endlessly dying on their cardboard mouths. Thank you.
This poem contains gull song. Not song as such, so much as guttural injunction, a music we forgot how to understand, since it lacks that carefully planned sweetness, sounding instead of black-shod clockers on, the splash and clack of shop fronts, cabbies sparking tabs in the cold of a wind-swept rank, flanked by one of Monk Chester's lesser monuments. A sentry, stopped in his bronze tracks, steps echoing the strains of an old tune, hidden in the genes of a new one, a left-behind accent, fizzing at the back of my tongue. This is a poem called Kungnanda, which means home, both home and home as a kind of ideological concept and house, the physical place. The English newsreader told me home was a broken man holding a dying child with flies round its mouth. A story that didn't tally with my mother's of childhood smiles on Granddad's farm, or the laughing dance across hot soil to the ice cream stand. No tagline could capture the air, swelling with moisture after dry season, or the glistening brown torsos of children bathed in the promise of rain clouds, kept at last. I'll finish with a poem which is also kind of a song, Fisherman's Song. What sadness for a fisherman who navigates the blue, to find among receding nets strange underwater blooms that look at first like bladderwrack, but from a closer view are clumps of matted human hair atop an acrid soup. And what song shall this fisherman who loves a jaunty tune sing to lullaby his children, when dark shapes in their room make the night a snarling monster only Father's voice can soothe? And who will soothe the fisherman who navigates the blue? Thank you.
Oranževec pred hišo je v zenitu. Poslušam odsotnost vetra med listi in neobljudeno popoldne. Zaradi 3 stvari puščam polkna priprta. Zaradi 4 zapiram vrata. Zaradi lune, ki razbeljena zacvrči, ko jo kovač potopi v vedro. Zaradi jutra, ki prebledi, ko ga obraz pogleda sonce. Zaradi dneva, ki zardi v noč in zaradi praga. Namesto stopinj ga bodo obrusili cvetovi. 3 se dvigajo v nebo, 4 so šli brez najmanjšega šuma. Šla je gonitna nitka v žarnici Iz glave mi je ušla prekinjena vrstica, skozi priprto okno se je pririnil hlad in za mizo si je prostor našla večerja. 4 stvari ne morem dojeti, 3 ne pozabiti. Oblega kamna na obali, kot otroka me je naučil razlikovati levo in desno koleno, levo in desno stran ceste. Bolečine, ki je bila vseobsegajoča in je minila hip za tem. Ljubeznivega morja, vsako noč ga sanjam, čaka me pred vrati. Podnevi pošilja galebe in druge slepo odgovor. In drevesa, ki zahaja nad svetom. Ni moč videti, kdo se vrti okoli koga. Po dolžini sence določamo smeri neba. Po dolžini korakov, katera ura noči je. The orange tree in front of the house is in the zenith. I listen to the absence of wind in the branches and to the unpeopled afternoon. For 3 things, I have left the window shutters open. For 4, I close the door. For the glowing moon, which hisses when the blacksmith sinks it in water. For the morning, which turns pale when the sun peers in its face. For the day, which blushes into night. And for the threshold, there will no longer be feet to shine it, only petals. 3 ascend towards the heavens, 4 have left without the slightest sound. The filament blew in the light bulb. A distracted line has vanished from my head. Through a half-open window the cold came in, and supper found its place at the table. 4 things I cannot comprehend. 3 I cannot forget. The round stone on the beach, which taught me as a child to tell my right knee from my left, one side of the road from the other. The all-encompassing pain that left me a moment later. The kindly sea I dream of every night, that waits me at the door and by day sends seagulls and other messengers for answer. And the tree, which is setting over the world. You cannot tell which revolves and which is still. By the shadow's length, we set the sky's directions. By the pace's length, we know the time of night. Vrabec skozi bolnišnično okno. Videl sem smrt, kako je prisedla na posteljo, si sezula copate. Pritisk mu je padal, obraz je postal bel, ko je legla, oči prestrašene. Odletel sem ven, ker nisem imel deleža pri njegovem življenju, je bilo edino prav, da nimam deleža pri njegovi smrti. Čez pol ure sem se vrnil po krušne drobtine, ki so ostale od kosila. Sparrow, through a hospital window. I saw death sit down beside him on the bed and take off her slippers. His blood pressure dropped, his face paled as she lay down. His eyes were frightened. I flew out. As I did not have a share in his life, it was only right not to have a part in his dying. Half an hour later, I returned to pick up the breadcrumbs left over from lunch. Cathedral lions. Rain, cold, and heat have corroded the low-grade marble. They're like the crest of a wave. For an instant, take form, and already dissolve into foam. They smile. Perhaps they know they're disappearing. Levi na pročelju katedrale. Tretjerazredni marmor so načeli dež, mraz in vročina. Podobni so vrhovom valov. Za hip privzamejo obliko in že se razpustijo v peno. Smehljajo se. Morda vejo, da kopnijo. And the last one. Exercise in automatic breathing. Again I write, morning, noon, night. Exercise in automatic writing. A series of thoughts and metaphors, without responsibility, without ambition to last. Poems without hanged men, without the dead relatives, without the scented skin of lovers, flowers and bushes. Bereft and empty. A failed attempt at resuscitation. Paper doesn't crack under one's palms like ribs or breastbone. Books do not start to smell after death. They're only covered by dust and stains from coffee or tea. No one is irreplaceable. At night I dream, in the morning the meaning is revealed to me. The trick is not in being exceptional, it is much simpler. Being irreplaceable for somebody. Does not have to be Tuscany, does not have to be summer, does not even have to last. This is the hardest. So I exercise one breath at a time. Spet pišem, opoldne, po noči, zjutraj. V avtomatskem pisanju, nizanje misli in metafor, brez odgovornosti, brez ambicije trajati. Pesmi brez obešencev, brez umrlih sorodnikov, brez dišeče kože ljubimcev, rož in grmov, oropane in prazne. Neuspel poskus oživljanja, papir ne poka pod prsti, kakor rebra in prsnica, knjige po smrti ne zasmrdijo, držijo se jih le prah in madeži kave ali čaja. Nihče ni nenadomestljiv. Po noči sanjam, zjutraj se mi razodene pomen. Trik ni v izjemnosti, bolj enostavno je. Biti nenadomestljiv za nekoga. Ni nujno Toskana, ni nujno poletje, niti ni nujno, da traja. To je najtežje, zato vadim vsak dih sproti. Hvala.
I really like Ledbury because there's some sort of lightness in the air that rings. You all look like washed-up kids in the corner of a playroom, fists balling on the mats, screaming that your bodies are bursting at the seams. At noon, we stare into the sun with bulging chameleon eyes. The world smudges in coarse grease pencil lines. There's no noticeable difference between a hand or a table, only the transition of matter. In the wavering image of magnified pixels, a girl's hair sways in long ponytails. Hair that isn't yet a trump card, but a burden when she plays. When she walks, the tails swish like whips. A lethargy weighs everything down. More mass on top of the same surface area, causing things to tumble off the margins of the world. There's a lightness here that rings, as if it's all just a marble alley, away from up to down till someone lifts us up again. Vnanadal snukker. Vingertoppen, zuignappen, vooral niet slapen nu. Als je niet gaat slapen nu, dan kunnen we praten nu. Dan zullen we praten hier, boven deze lakens. Over de bleke heuvels aan de andere kant van het water. De zoden van het gras waarin we zaten, waarin we nog niet samen zaten. Zomers die we afzonderlijk meemaakten, het lichter van onze haren en het langer van de dagen hier. Boven deze lakens vooral niet breken nu. De schorpioenen in mijn boekenkast zijn op reis vannacht. Het is veilig nu. De warmte op de ramen, de damp op je verhalen. Het is bijna ochtend. Boven deze lakens nog een laatste uur hier. In mijn lome lendenen blijf. Nog even praten nu in de lome lendenen van mijn lijf over buikholtes. Komkommertijd. Een verland in mijn oren over takken van robuuste bomen langs de klanken van de woorden. Hier koortstromen, hier knoesten van handen en kommen van dorst. Witte lelies voor een woonkamer. Vooral niet slapen nu. Aanraken nu. De wanden vergeten blauwdrukken. De onschuld van een regenworm in een kindermond. We kunnen praten hier, boven deze lakens. Fingertips, suction pads. Don't fall asleep now. If you don't fall asleep now, we will talk now. We can talk, here, on top of these sheets. About the pale hills across the water. The sods of grass where we sat, where we hadn't sat together yet. Summers we experienced separately. The lighter of her hair and the longer of the days here on top of these sheets don't break now. The scorpions in my bookcase are traveling tonight. It's safe now. The heat on the windows, the steam from your stories. It's almost morning. On top of these sheets, a final hour here. In my languid loins, stay. Talk a little. In the languidness of my loins about belly buttons. The silly season. Talk a distant land into my ears. The branches on sturdy trees lining the sound of the words here. Fevered dreams. Here, on top of these sheets, nurse for hands and bowls of thirst. White lilies for the living room. The walls, long forgotten blueprints. The innocence of a rainworm in a child's mouth. We can talk here, on top of these sheets. So before I continue, I would like to ask a question to the women in the audience who in here already gave birth. 1, 2, 3. Oh, a lot of you. That's going to be interesting. I haven't given birth yet, but I have a theory of how it goes. And maybe afterwards we can discuss experience versus theory. Well, I think it's something like women making bouillon from themselves in the bathwater until their innards boil out of them in the form of a child. And this is how we are born, without a shell, without the reassurance that one day we'll find a mouth that looks so much like our own mouths that we start to talk with it. And I wonder if I too, one day, will end up frog-legged, with a gurgling breath and the nervous tick of a head on a bewildered body, left like that, in a bathtub, while the water circles away, a small whirling tornado that won't even make it to the weather forecast. I think it must go something like that because ever since I was born, my mother, an enormous bull's head rages in my mother's belly. It's on a rampage in her empty womb, creating scars in the fellow mother. Sometimes my mother doesn't quite recognize me, which is troubling because at one time I fitted inside her perfectly. Luckily, according to the astronomical constellation of Cancer, I am reliable, pleasure-seeking, and creative. She finds this consoling, an article of fate connecting amniotic fluid to the universe. Whenever we had chicory baked with gammon, I'd get the crust of cheese. All of it. Because I asked for it. The love I know is dished up from a casserole. 2 extra helpings on a full plate. A second biscuit hidden in the yellow pud. This is a typical feature of motherly conduct, stuffing one's young. In exchange for the void I left in her, she wanted me full and round. And then came the morning that I announced the arrival of 2 small breasts. The news broke her spirit for days. Eventually, she handed me a first bra, but it was emblazoned with Hello Kitty. A void is emptiness only when nothing else will fit. Gradually, we fossilized into 2 separate creatures. You can no longer tell who became the insect and who turned into amber. What I can tell is that ever since my mother cries when she does the wash, this is a perfect moment for mothers to cry because the revolving drum of a washing machine generally makes quite a racket. I can still hear her sob, but so quietly that it really could be ambient noise. And the washing machine, it licks the day's wounds. You can put anything in that doesn't fit in your head. Unused sheets, for example, or the tobacco smell in the coat of your grandfather with throat cancer. Long cycle, 60 degrees, cleansing ritual. I spent ages thinking that it was unfair that I had a crying mother, as though I had to go to school carrying a heavier bag. And whenever we played Drop the Handkerchief, I would always briefly think that the hanky was for my mom. I made sense of this phenomenon of the crying mother by guessing that there wasn't enough water, and that this was why she'd stare into the washing machine, thinking long and hard about dead pussycats. So long until she started to cry. She was able to do the washing with her tears. I grew up with salt stains on my clothes. Thank you very much.